Okay, so this is part 3. The drive there felt like it would never end. She looked at the digital clock in the front seat, but it only made the time go by slower. The car smelled of old people with a hint of window cleaner to cover up the fact that it was aberrant. Her back began to ache and her hands began to shake. She hated knowing that for at least the next week she would have no one but herself. The EMT pulled into the long driveway, stopped the car briskly, and walked around to open her door. Right foot first, then the left. She stamped at the car while the guard on duty pats her down, and then sent her through the metal detectors. The cold room felt so humble. She thought that maybe the green walls were to have an effect on her moods, but based on the people who were also waiting, it wasn't a positive effect. There was an African-American child about the age of 12. He sat across the lobby from her, nervously staring at her. The Caucasian man, mid-40s, sat to her right. It was evident that he was here for detox because he rocked back and forth in his chair, sweating and pleading for liquor. The last person was also Caucasian male, early 20s, pacing from one end to another, pulling chunks of hair out of his head, and clamoring obscene language. Was this really a place for her? She was just as panic-stricken as she'd been before. She was with her mother last time. She didn't have her the second time around. It was time for her to grow up and do things herself. The nurse called her in to do an evaluation and take her vitals. She was told that she was going into a different section than she was in the last time. She argued, but it didn't matter. Nothing mattered. She was crazy in their eyes. Suicidal, psychotic, dejected. She was always taught never to label. These people didn't care. The doors open slowly as she takes undersized steps through the large hallway. Only a few more steps left. She stops dead in her path, falls to the ground, and begins to cry. She dislikes what she has done to herself. She hates where overdosing has taken her. She wants nothing more than to go home, to be with the people that she loves the most. Instead, she is stuck here with the people with amnesia that are between homes, mentally challenged men, violent women, and stressed nurses. They try to comfort her. Nothing is working. She knows that she fights for it. They would keep her longer. 10 minutes later, she finally agrees to take the final steps into the waiting room. They were all new people, people that she didn't know how to deal with, people that had more problems than she could ever conceptualize. She sits in this 10 by 12 room, filled with chairs and a water fountain. The 17 people that were in this department sat in each of the chairs and gazed at each other. She wasn't sure exactly what was going on in their heads, but she knew that she was thinking, how did they get in here? Will they ever see me again outside of this place? Should I worry about any of these people desecrating me in any way? Do they still judge me for what I did? There were so many questions she had that she couldn't answer. Bedtime at the hospital is 10 p.m. sharp. The lights must be out and we must be showered and under the covers by the time the nurse's assistant comes around to check rooms. Not long after she was admitted into the hospital, the clock struck 10 p.m. Up at the nurse's station, she finds out what room she had been assigned to, and slowly walks to the back of the building to find her room. 4B. She walks in. Her eyes scan the room, still the same. Wooden cots screwed to the floor with the vinyl mattresses that made noise when you moved. A small sheet that never kept you warm, and a travel-sized pillow that caused neck pains in the morning. The shelves also screwed into the walls, and the floors were filled with old magazines that people had left, and bizarre spilled liquids of some sort. She didn't want to find out. The one window they had to look into the outside world was secured with another sheet of bulletproof glass. They had to make sure that you weren't able to get out. And that is how much I have so far, but I will continue to write it and let you know how it goes. Bye.